Hello everyone, Krydex here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We've been dealing with lots of stuff recently, because this is pYanodon's, and lots of stuff is the name of the game, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I haven't had enough coffee to be coherent yet. What did we do? We did all the limestone. We did stuff and things. Let me take stock of what we need to do. Let me also throw a lamp over here. And maybe over here? What are we doing, man? We need to do some more research. That's what we're doing. Let's do fertilizer. Stage 1. I mean, we need to do lots of stuff. We could do the Vraux turd. We could do the Moss Farm turd. Could research elevated rails. We might as well research our niobium pipe undergrounds, which will be so awesome. I can't wait for that. Hot air stage 2. Oh, yes. Okay, this makes hot air almost free. Because basically we can utilize reheating to get 95% recycling to coke oven gas. And we get the ability then to do warmer stone bricks. So we get double, or no, didn't we say it was quadruple the hot air output? I think it was quadruple the hot air output for the same amount of like input coke oven gas. And then you can recycle it, which then 20x's your output. So it's 80 times more hot air for the same amount of coke oven gas. That's kind of absurd, right? And then it even lets us do something useful with excess coke oven gas, because why not? That's totally a hard mode recipe right there, I can tell. I feel like, I mean, A, that's a recipe that I don't remember existing, and B, that just feels like such a, like, oh, you need to get rid of coke oven gas, doing something other than power generation with it. All right, we'll also queue up Kickalc, because I know we're going to need that pretty soon. I don't think I care about a crawdad mount. Like, there's just no way. They can easily ram and destroy trees and rocks, but what's their max speed? It's not telling me. It still isn't telling me. I have no idea what its max speed is. I have trains now, so it's kind of like, what's the point? I will need fungal substrate at some point. What else? Steel stage 2, we should probably queue up because we're gonna do iron and steel at some point. Yeah, I'll take 10 more inventory slots. In fact, I'll do that next because that has the most immediate use. Ulrecs are gonna be necessary. Coal bed, methane extractor, fish station, phosphorus lubricant, MIBC, rubber 2. Now this one might be useful sooner rather than later, so we'll put that a little forwards in the queue. And then big electric poles will get queued up somewhere in there. Okay, for now I think that's good. I don't really need anything else. An oil power plant might be nice. Oh, it consumes kerosene exactly. Not just any fluid fuel. Never mind. I thought it would be a way to trash unneeded things, but it's not. Not really. Okay, that's a good cue for now. And let's head over to over here to continue our niobium conquest. What's next? So we did landfill as a side note so that we could make rails. What was that all for? It was so that we could make rails down across here. That's what it was, to get to the niobium ore. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the niobium ore is the answer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a straight section pasted there. And there. And then we'll need a, I guess we'll need a T-junction. Which way do we want to face it? Probably that way. Like that. And then we'll need a, where are you? One of these guys. Some stations to load up the old niobium. So that should do it. I think I need to fix the whole thing. First of all, let's make sure this didn't break anything. Nope, that looks like that'll happen properly. It is a little bit of a problem because it's not gonna happen for a while, but we have a good amount of bots now, so it won't take that long, and this isn't even that important of a process right now anyway. So, and we can always add a few more bots here. Add 10 more into the network there. So now we've got 91 construction bots. That's actually enough that we're not even needing all of them right now. That feels good. Okay, so that's working. So why don't we work on drill heads then, in the meantime? So drill heads, sounds like a band. Drill heads. We have a few options: chromium, steel, iron, chromium, steel, aluminum, and steel, aluminum, titanium. Feel like we should just go for the best one. Is that the best one though? It's definitely better in terms of steel, and it's also better in terms of aluminum, but we need titanium instead of chromium. It's quite a bit better. It's 50% more drill heads. And titanium and chromium are kind of in a similar vein, aren't they, in terms of complexity? I mean, right now we've got a 5-to-1 on chromium ore, and titanium is in the same ballpark. No, sorry. Am I doing this titanium? Titanium's also about 5-to-1, but am I actually doing that? Or did I just plan it out? I don't remember doing that. Yeah, we haven't put where is my titanium even? What? Hold on. What? What's happening? I've lost my marbles, folks. Where even is my titanium patch? Wasn't it over here somewhere? Oh no. Krydax has gone mad. He's truly lost it. Alright, I have to search for it. I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. It is literally... Oh my gosh. It is invisible. Look at that. It is so invisible with this tile. That's funny. I thought it was over here somewhere. Okay, so that's titanium. And we are just doing the boring titanium. Okay. That's fine. Alright, so drill heads are going to mean that we need titanium, steel, and... what was it? I already forgot. Aluminum on the train network. So we'll get those hooked in. We're gonna need all of these, so there's steel and lead. What is this belt? This belt has nothing on it. Okay. So titanium in small parts, though, is really useful. I want small parts on trains, too. So, for now, we'll hook that up. And then, what was the other thing? Aluminum. Boom. And then... boom, 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 boom. All right, let me go grab some more belts. And... let's grab more everythings, I guess. Get rid of these dumb little power poles. And let that fill up a bit more. These bots are slow. These bots are slow. Alright. Wait, what was it? What is this? Oh, I'm looking at 250 hours. That's why. I was curious what that little green spike was, but that's when we started using high pressure steam. Alright, so now we gotta hook all these things up, which is a chore. Alright. Oh, quick reminder, because I haven't mentioned it yet in this episode, I just want to keep reminding people, we are doing a live stream in just a couple days, Sunday, March 30th. Be there or be square. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube Live, so pick your platform. And yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say other than it'll be a grand time. We will be doing a little bit of a base tour, because I want to do a base tour episode. And then we'll also be doing... I might do another multi-provider situation, so I'm going to copy this and delete this. And then do this. Beautiful. All right, and then we're gonna need to change the name to steel plate and titanium. I'll just do TI plate and what was the other one? Aluminum plate. Provide. Well, if that doesn't look like gibberish to me, then I don't know what does. Jeez. Yeah, I don't like my naming convention. It's official. It's official. One entity is missing the material for construction. Oh. Guess we need to put arithmetics on the list. Alright. Okay, and then we need to change these three. I'll wait until we get the items closer, but... So at least for this particular case, we want one of the belts to be mixed steel and titanium. So let's do something like this. I'll probably pull the other parts off, the lead and the titanium, or the small parts at some other point. But for now, we just want something like this. Oh, sorry. This. And this. All right. And then this one. that. And I'm totally gonna get run over by a train. Need some energy shields. All right, and then here we want that to be titanium plate. We're gonna go a bit smaller at just 2,000 because I don't feel rich enough to handle 3,500 of each of these. Steel, and then you're gonna be whatever the other one was, aluminum. Aluminum, I feel rich enough to handle that amount. And then steel to the left. Oh no, was it? Which one did I do first? No, I did titanium to the left. Okay. That should handle that. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. So those things are now all on the train network, and we need to make drill heads. Okay, so it sounds like a team name for some sort of competition. That's what drill heads sounds like to me. It almost sounds like a backyard baseball team name, if that rings any bells for anybody. I don't know why, but it's just like, oh, we're the drill heads, you know? It just sounds right. Oh, look at this super force build with landfill. It's so glorious. It's just working. It's just working. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. But I'm not gonna marry it. Don't suggest it. All right, anyway, we do need more robots apparently, but I'm not worried about that. So, drill heads. Drill heads are weird. Do we really... So this is where my laziness, or efficiency, depends on what you want to call it, says, why don't we just make drill heads right here? We've literally got all the things we need. But the problem is we're not going to be providing these right here always, right? And so when I start providing these metals in different places, well, now making drill heads here isn't as efficient, and then I need to deal with making drill heads somewhere else. So it's this weird sense of like making things on the train network is expensive and costly because it creates bigger buffers and it means more infrastructure, but it has this huge benefit of now you don't need to worry about it when you switch things up later. And that's why we're doing it. So I'm gonna just bite the bullet and we're gonna put drill heads on the train network, and it's gonna be expensive. I also need to change a couple things. Our basic stations, we screwed something up. Okay, we screwed this up. We didn't have power poles. And we screwed up allow lists. We didn't undo that. And we want stack thresholds to be set by default because that's what we're doing. And the request threshold is 20 stacks by default. And we just need to make sure to change those to 1 if they're providers. Okay. So I think that's all we needed to do for that. Oh, and then a loader. We just need some sort of loader. Requester stations are more common than providers, I think. So we'll just have both of those be requesters by default. And they're already set up as requesters on channel 3. So that's perfect. Okay, so then we're gonna redo the 2 basic station. By the way, I keep meaning to mention this. A couple people have asked me for the blueprints. Just hit me up on Discord on the Crydania channel. I'm more than happy to share the blueprint book. Okay, I'm gonna make that a little longer. Station rail extension. I'm gonna call it something slightly different. Do that. And then these guys I already fixed, right? Stack thresholds, no automatic allow list, inactivity condition on the multi-provider. Dave and I were talking about how we could potentially remove locked slots, which is an interesting idea, but it requires a really complicated solution, which I will very briefly cover. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but briefly what you would end up doing. Kobladix, I think, was the one to suggest this. Let me double check. Yeah, Kobladix was the one to suggest it. Basically, what you would need to do, if you turn off locked slots, you would actually just leave everything the way it is, and it would end up having items stuck in the inserters and in the filters. But then you would just take those items out of the next train. So you would have an inserter that would be filtered in some way such that it would look at what the train's supposed to have, and it would take the signals of what the train's currently holding, and then it would remove the signal of what it wants, and then that would be the whitelist that you would set the inserter to. And then it would remove all of the leftover stuff from the previous inserters and put it back in the warehouse. That's all it would be. And then you could end up with a multi-provider that has 10 different items in it, and you wouldn't need you wouldn't need 10 locked slots. Now, the only reason you would ever need 10 locked slots is if it would provide all 10 of those items to the same train, going to the same place, which is also very unlikely, but there's always that chance, you know, and that chance is gonna give you that fear in the back of your mind of like, what if? And I wouldn't want that fear. Okay, so now we need another station, which would be a requester station. I can fix that part myself. And then yeah, basic request is good. We'll have to let the bots build things, I guess. Uh-oh, we're out of landfill. All right, well that can be fixed. Because we'll just have you do another cycle here. Landfillita. Working hard. She's a good little caravan. I feel bad wasting all this shale oil. It's just... I just don't care enough right now to use it. We already know, someone mentioned in the comments that shale oil can be used for aromatics and stuff. It's like, I'm already doing that up here. I just don't care enough to set this all up again. You know, I guess I could have just copy pasted this whole build. But then I still would have had to pump the light oil up. And we're not even using the heavy oil right now as well, which I want to point out, heavy oil is kerosene. Heavy oil goes straight to kerosene. So that is just straight up power for the oil burning power plant. Now, olefin plants are not very fast. I just realized that's a 4-second craft time to only get 40 kerosene. So that's only 15 megajoules a second per olefin plant. But anyway, all that to say, heavy oil is a way to get hot molten salt, because instead of a coal power plant, we use the oil power plant, which was in this building. So this guy right here can use up to 10 megawatts of kerosene to produce glorious amounts of hot molten salt. And it's 500 in 20 seconds versus... Oh, it's the exact same. Okay. So they are the exact same efficiency as each other. Sweet. Okay, anyway, back to what we were doing. I'm so forgetful. I don't remember what we were doing. I think I was working on requesting stuff. Yes. So 10 stacks is my current threshold. I'm gonna bring that down to 5 stacks. And we're gonna do steel. We're gonna do titanium, and we're gonna do aluminum. And the actual ratio of those is what? Kind of like a 1, 2, 3, roughly. I guess we should look at the recipe for drill heads. Is this the fastest way to search? What's the fastest way for me to search? Control E, Control F, drill head. So Control EF. That I need to get that in my muscle memory. Okay, so I'm walking around. I want to look something up. EF. Boom. Drill head. And then I can start typing. And then I can find... Oh, you know what? This is actually kind of funny. So... this is a hot take. I don't know if Rygard will ever see this. But I prefer, when I'm searching, because you know me, I'm all about less clicks. Wherever it's reasonable, I'm all about less clicks. So I would prefer in recipe book, and I don't even know if it's possible, but I'd prefer if when you're searching, it's all in one category. Because I don't want to have to select the right category to see where the drill heads are that I'm looking for. There's not even that many. I'd rather see drill heads, you know, like this, and then I can just click it. So that is one inefficiency of recipe book here, is you have to click the right... Like if I was searching for something like iron, it's like, wait, there's so many different categories. Where's the iron thing that I'm looking for? I'd rather have them all in one big pile. Because even the same item sometimes is in multiple categories. I don't know of a good example of that. Anyway, drill heads are... We're looking for this recipe. So it is 2, 3, 4 is the ratio. Okay. Honestly, I'm just gonna do the minimum on each. -5. And we're gonna call that good. And this is drill heads in request. Well, of course, inputs are going to be request. Why do I have that as... It feels... Shouldn't it just be drill heads are? Obviously, that's the requester for drill head stuff. Yep, that makes sense. All right, that's good to go. And then... We still need to put wood on the... Put wood on trains. That needs to get done. And then... We'll run the drill heads. You know what? I'm just going to use a big boy factory. Oop. Just about got creamed. Just about. All right, I'm going to go over there. And then I will grab a factory. I'll grab 5. They're expensive. I don't want to grab too many. And then we'll go back over here somewhere. Ooh, a train stopped at a signal. That was fun to watch. Okay, now I don't know if I liked what happened here. Yeah, this is getting really long in the tooth. So I should separate that out. I mean, technically, if you wanted to be really efficient, you would put one after every turn off. But that should help a little bit. Okay, and then we'll want to get some wood. Problem is we need such a tiny amount. It feels weird to waste 5. I mean, 5 stacks of wood is actually not that much now that I think about it. Wood without the space is there. -5. And then that should do it. This is such a simple little block. Do you want to go up? Or, yeah, I think I'll go up. No, we'll go down. There's room down here. No, I'm gonna be better. Be the change you want to see in the world. All right. And what I'm gonna do is sushi. So we're gonna set up a sushi loop here. And it'll come back like that. I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that need such a small amount of space. I'm just gonna end up with stations all the way across this block and just plenty of room. That's actually really funny. Okay, anyway, what am I doing here? Oh, I wanted to paste another station rail extension just so I already have it locked in. Like that. And what I'm gonna do, you know what? Yeah, I think this is my idea. I'm just gonna extend the straight sections so that I don't keep running into this issue. And then we're not dealing with that as often. Okay, that is worrisome right there. We'll have to fix this. And this is also a problem. Okay. We just have to do a weird squiggly do. That's going the right way. This goes up here. Okay. So that fixes that, and then those are getting built. And now we need to put... I mean, there's a couple ways to do this. I didn't leave myself very much room, did I? But that's okay. Alright, so we're gonna take ingredients, put drill heads back on. Alright, drill head number 3. Oh my god, I'm just imagining... Oh, what if we had the drill head recipe dynamically select itself based on my current reserves of different metals? Definitely not worth it. But we could do that. All right, so drill heads are going to be on the inside, and then should this be a multi-provide request station? We already set this up as a multi-provider. So no, we'll just make this provide drill heads as well. So drill heads will come... Okay, a couple things. First we need to measure you. And you're gonna go drill heads. The actual item is less than 30. And then we're gonna pull drill heads off right here, and they're gonna get loaded in right here. As long as drill heads are less than... Whoa. That's freaking me out, dude. That angle from this loader to that wire right there is almost or maybe exactly the same angle as this angle. And so it's looking like this was connected to this and nothing was connected to the steel chest. Is that the same angle? So it's like 1, 2, 3 up and one over. I guess the angle's hard to determine because they're not actually on grid lines, so never mind. I'm not gonna be able to figure it out that way. Anyway, this filters drill heads. Don't worry, I didn't forget that. Hey, look, I found drill heads. Okay, drill heads are in the middle of coal processing junk. There's just a whole heap of items in coal processing that are all kind of jumbled here. Optical fiber. I'm not excited for that. Optical fiber is a bit of a like 15 assemblers in a row type situation for red. You need it for red circuits. Yeah, you need it for red circuits, and oh, that's a new thing. I don't know what that is, but you need this iron niobium coating, which is Kevlar, and iron niobium alloy, and Kevlar is copper coating, and Kevlar copper coating is cladded cores, and cladded cores needs this aramid fiber, the glass core, which is glass silver sulfur, cladding, which is glass niobium complex and nitrobenzene, and nitrobenzene needs all sorts of stuff, and then you've got aramid fiber, which is an absolute nightmare. And then that's just for the cladded core. You also need Kevlar, which needs nylon, TCl, organic solvent, and PPD, and PPD needs also ammonia and nitrobenzene. So it's just a whole, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. Now, what I'm thinking about doing, can I do a combinator? Because what I was thinking of, how did these end up with 508, by the way? Because it's a multi-provider station. Those are always going to be a little bit more than we asked for. That's important to remember, that we should never request an amount that's going to completely fill up a chest, because we might get a little more than we asked for. Anyway, I could do an inserter with its filter set via a constant combinator that's subtracting the amount on the belt. So that would be an arithmetic and a constant combinator. Or I could just have 3 different inserters that are all side loading onto the belt. But that would need 3 different lanes, which I don't really have the room for right here, do I? Well, this one wouldn't need a lane, and then these 2 could be... Okay, never mind, we're fine. Because I can just do it this way. I can just side load that. Oh, but I need to filter it. No. We can do inserters like this that are filtered and inserter conditions. All right, we got it. All right, you're like that, and you're like this, and you're all connected to belt readings, and you say steel plate less than, should we go 40, 60, 80? How long is this belt? 25 times 4 is 100 items. So we can fit 200 items on a lane. 40, 60, 80 adds to 180. That's about perfect, actually. So I think that's what we'll go with. So 40, and we'll be on the close side. We'll go 60 on the close side, and then 80 on the far side, and that'll be... I could even go higher than that. But I didn't actually count the right numbers, 40, 60, 80, because it's 40 titanium, 60 aluminum, and 80 steel. 40 titanium, 60 aluminum, and 80 steel. And then you need to be filtered on titanium. I can turn my bots back on. You need to be filtered on, well, it doesn't really matter. Steel, you're going onto the right side. And you're gonna go onto that side, and you need to be filtered on aluminum. Okay. That's not working. Oh, I didn't type the numbers. There we go. Okay. With any amount of luck and power, should result in some drill heads. Sweet. There it is. Hey, made our first drill head. Nice. Okay, so what we're dealing with the 18 ingredients for 6 outputs. That's 3-to-1 ratio of in to out inserters. That's actually perfect. I might make them slightly faster though, just in case we need a few more than 0.7 a second, because this build is already telling me I'm going to need 0.531 a second, though this will get more efficient. It's important to remember that mining productivity is in effect here, as well as any productivity that we apply along the chain is in effect. So we'll need fewer drill heads per niobium plate. So that's important to remember. But yeah, we got drill heads. Nice. All right, let's get wood on trains, because I do want to get that done someday. So let's do that somewhere. Yeah, I think this is the way to transition to a train base, is hooking up the things you already have produced as inputs. And later, you know, when you start running out of them, you can start thinking about, yeah, okay, now I need to actually make a block that produces wood. But for now, I'm just gonna take the wood that I already have on a belt, and I'm gonna put that on a train. And I feel like this is gonna get us started with our train base just so much sooner than if we were like, oh, every item that I want on trains, I need to make a block dedicated to producing that item. That just seems like too much. I think wood is going to be its own provider, actually. What is this? Is this me playing with something? I think that was me playing with something. This is just going to be a standard provider station of one type. On channel 1, there's no locked slots. Quest threshold doesn't matter. We don't need an inactivity condition. This is wood. P. Limit 2. I don't think there's anything else we need to do with that. And then this guy has wood on which side of the belt? The right side of the belt. So that will do it. Okay, run over. Loader. Need no filters, need no nothing. That'll just work. Cool. All right, so there's wood for trains. Wood for trains. That sounds like a deal you make in Settlers of Catan. Wood for trains. Hey, we're like getting there. It's not fast because of all this landfill. It's really not fast, but we're getting there. It's also extra not fast because of all the bots that get stuck needing to charge midway through. Which makes me think adding another one right here could be a good move. Get a little bit of help for the bots. But we'll get there eventually. We still need refined syngas anyway, but this seems like a good spot to end the episode. Oh, maybe, is there one more little thing I could do? I don't have time to make refined syngas, I don't think. Because that needs... Okay, sorry, let me try it the other way. EF, refined syngas. Yeah, there's still some nice things about... FNEI. Having to click on the right category here, I think, is a little bit unfortunate. But anyway, this is our recipe. So we need some filters, which are pretty affordable, and beta carbonate and syngas. What even is my syngas like right now? Like, where is it going? Where does it come from? Where does it go? Where does it come from, Cotton Eye Joe? We're using it for mining borax, right? And we're using it for mining something else. Is it like... Yeah, it's nickel. And more? What's this? What is this? Ah, it keeps going. Syngas. Aha, chromium. Okay, so we need it for chromium, nickel, and borax. Got it. And then now we need the refined version for niobium. But the only extra thing we need to do for the refined version... I just gotta remember this button's right here. It's right next to FNEI. Yeah, okay, all we need is just to add in some activated carbon. All right, so we'll do that somewhere in this block, and then we will provide refined syngas as a fluid fuel. And the reason I want to do that is it is used in a lot of places. Like, we're gonna need refined syngas all over the place. And there are other ways to make it as well. So that's why I want to provide it to the train network, is because there might be other places I make refined syngas. Now the question is about activated carbon. Should we use the activated carbon on site that I'm already making here, or should I not? Because activated carbon is used in a lot of places, but it doesn't really have alternative recipes. There's a third way to make it, but yeah, because there's no alternative recipes, there's no reason for me to not... Gosh, this gets so complicated. I need a better way to, like, phrase these things. Because there's how many ways are there to make it, how many ways are there to use it. And depending on those situations, you may or may not put something in a provider at all, and you may or may not use that something at the site where it's made. So in this case, activated carbon has a lot of uses, right? So we want to provide it to the network. But it doesn't have many ways to make it. So anything that uses activated carbon is a reasonable thing to put right here and just pull off of this belt. Because we're not going to make activated carbon in other places. We're only making it in one place. So anything that uses this can go in this block and pull off of this belt. Whereas if there were a lot of different ways to make it and a lot of different ways to use it, you want it all fully separated. You never want to belt things, you only want to train things, because then trains can, you know, mix and match and be prioritized and all that sort of stuff. But when there's only one way to make something, you are free to use that belt and not use trained versions. You can use trained versions as well. So that's kind of the overall sense that I get for these things. Now this is stopped up and it shouldn't be. Did I math wrong? Or... Oh. Nope. I just didn't click a button. Okay, well, let's go fix that. And then we'll call it an episode. But yeah, all that to say, that's a good thing to kind of walk yourself through of like, where do we want to make this? Do I want to make it here? Do I want to make it using another station? In this case, we don't want to use another station, and I just need to probably hoover up a little bit of items from this belt, and it should unlock itself over time. Oh, that should be a high-speed inserter. Do I have drill? Yeah, I did end up with a drill head in my inventory, so we'll get rid of that. And there we go. Now things are rolling again, and now these are actually seeing their number reflected, which is good. And I want to make sure those are yellow inserters. I guess I did kind of make this messy. I'm realizing a loader would do the trick, but so do these. And loaders are more expensive, so whatever. It works fine. I mean, at that point, I might as well have just taken that belt up and not done sushi. I don't know if sushi was really needed here, but you know, I needed the practice. I needed the sushi practice. Now this should have a train on the way of aluminum. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. Perfect. Perfect. All right, sweet. Well, I'm happy with this. We got drill heads going on and all sorts of other things getting done over time. So we'll call that an episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.